My name is Kavita Pema. I am the Group Executive for Sustainability and Risk at Omnia Group, which is a diversified chemicals and mining business. So we are using version 4 of IsoMetrix, and in that we use all the modules. So we have a fully integrated risk and EHS module system set up. So also sustainability and all of those issues are also included. So we've got quite a robust integrated system we're using. For many years we have been using a system for EHS reporting, but not integrated. It was mainly an incident and audit management system that we had been using, and we found that it was not really addressing our needs. It was also not very user-friendly. So as a company then we went out and started looking at various systems to see what would be a good choice to replace that system. And for about a period of 1 year, we went through a process of assessing various systems, going through demonstrations to see how they work, getting references for all the systems, and then also going to places where they were actually using those systems and seeing how they work. So I'm not going to list all the systems we went through, but there were a lot of them, and eventually we landed on IsoMetrix. The advantages were it was very user-friendly. We could see how it would fit into our business. It was simple to use. It was very robust, so if we needed to make changes, we could adapt and amend or change as we needed. So that worked fantastically, but what we went for at that stage was a pure EHS solution. Aside from the fact that some health and safety risks would have been included in that, we went for a pure EHS system, and so that was version 3 of IsoMetrix. When we decided, we saw how the system was actually starting to fit into our business, it was starting to make sense, we realized that we should actually be doing an integrated risk system. And how do we then put the whole enterprise risk aspect into the system? And that's when we were introduced to version 4. And at the time, version 4 was still in development, but we were assured that it will address our risk management needs. And once the system was finalized and we pushed all our risk management modules in there, it fit perfectly. So the transition from version 3 to version 4 was not that difficult. There were some background issues we had to sort out in terms of now importing data from an older version to a newer version, but we got support for that from IsoMetrix. There was a lot of back and forth in terms of what kind of templates need to be created to move the data, but eventually it was done. So we've been live on the system on version 4 since June 2018. We actually had quite a large, I would say, and diverse team from IsoMetrix working with us on this project. So we had subject matter experts from almost all the disciplines that IsoMetrix covers. And what we did from our side was bring most of our senior specialists as well to the development phases. So we had a very good interactive working relationship with the subject matter experts, your business analysts, as well as the system developers. And over time, it took us a while to get to where we needed, and in the process there were quite a few changes, mostly on the IsoMetrix side, but it felt sometimes seamless. We did hit a few hiccups here and there, but other than that, the support was great, and the subject matter experts were very knowledgeable. They knew what they were talking about, and they supported us in what we needed to achieve in our business. So they listened to what we needed, and then they came up with a solution. What was also very good was that where we may have missed something, they quickly picked up those gaps and then gave us some ideas and solutions of how to fill those. So we ended up with, I do believe, quite a good solution at the end. So the biggest change we have experienced is in our reporting. So where we were previously struggling a lot with things like incident management, management of audit findings, tracking actions, Those things had always been difficult. Now we have a very good system that helps us with that. The really good thing that I personally find very valuable is the dashboards, because from a management perspective, although we don't dive deep into the system, the dashboards really assist in making management decisions, to see how trends are going, where are the areas of focus, where should we be putting more attention. So from that perspective, it's been very useful. Yeah, so previously we had been doing most of our reporting on spreadsheets. Main reason being the system we had was not user-friendly. So although there was a requirement to report on a system, everyone in the business started creating their own spreadsheets. So every time you needed information, you got 10 spreadsheets that you had to now pile into one system or one worksheet and try and get the data out. And so it was very cumbersome, just trying to get yearly stats or 6 monthly stats, even monthly stats. It was very difficult. So that was part of the process that we really wanted to do away with. So we also then had a separate system in which we were actually capturing data. It was the in-house system that we had built, but just for collection of stats. So then we removed that system totally. We removed the previous reporting system totally, and now everything is in IsoMetrix. So we also obviously had a separate risk reporting system. So that system also, and it wasn't a system, it was spreadsheets. So that system has also been replaced by IsoMetrix. And the beauty part of that is everything is integrated. So everything, no matter where you are in the system, everything touches the different parts of the business. So if you base it from the foundation of risk management and tie everything into risk disciplines, we get a seamless picture of what's going on in the business. My personal choice was IsoMetrix when we went through the process. The main reason was it looked good. The visuals of IsoMetrix are very friendly on the eyes. It looks pretty, beautiful colors. But aside from that, it's very easy to use. It requires a little bit of initial training, but then it's also very intuitive. So if you're new to the system and you just follow the prompts and you follow the next steps that pop up, you're actually already teaching yourself how to use the system. So although we need to do a bit of training and awareness, the need to do in-depth detailed training is not there. So people can, from scratch, go into the system and already start using it. So that was the biggest advantage for me, the ease of use, the user friendliness, and the adaptability. There were a few things that IsoMetrix did for us which were unique. So we're a chemicals business, and for us process safety is a huge critical aspect. And nowhere could we find a software that would assist us with process safety. So IsoMetrix actually built a module specifically for us to manage our process safety, whole rollout, assessment of elements, and then reporting and dashboarding. And although the dashboarding requires information from our maintenance system, they put in that interface and integration for us. So we can pull dashboards from our maintenance system into IsoMetrix. So that was a unique thing there, because we could not find that anywhere else. In November 2018, the Omnia Group was nominated and actually won the Institute of Risk Management of South Africa's Industry Initiative Award. And that was largely based on the fact that we had gone the route of systemizing risk management and embedding it into the organization. So it's no longer an isolated tick box exercise, it's actually integrated into all our business processes. So that actually also just reinforced the message within the group that we are on the right path and we have chosen the right tool to assist us in dealing with risk.